welcome. I don't know what time of day it is, night it is, or what day of the week it is for you, but I do know it's time. Grab a seat and get cozy. We're going to talk about my book. Just finished last night. And I went to a book club meeting last night as well, so I crammed this in. The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. He's never going to have his cycle. He's never going to extend. And I like this book. I really love that book, but I'm interested to see. I don't say they drug for the family, but they were very fancy. But I will read this book, give it a chance and see. Kindle, I downloaded Very. So I have the first 3 books of those, which I do plan to read. So Laurie Gilmore, she wrote the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. She has the Cinnabon bookstore, and we have the Christmas Tree Farm. And it says, the Christmas Tree Farm, the magic starts here. And she's known, I think she got popular off of the TikTok. For whatever reason, she won an award on TikTok with the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Now, she came out with the sprayed edges of this book in a hardcover, and she also just came out with the sprayed edges of this one. So these two are the only ones with the sprayed edges, and also these two are the only ones that I actually read of hers. I bought, and I never do this, I read the first one, and I have to go in order. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. But in this case, I read the first one, so I got the gist of everything. This one is the 3rd one. So it wasn't the last one in the series. I didn't even know they all went together. I just thought they were just like a different book. But that's how they read, like different books. So I did this one at the Pumpkin Spice, with the Pumpkin Spice theme cafe, and went to the Pumpkin Patch. And I read this one because Oxlot Books was doing a book club meeting on this one. So I binge read this one. And I read it in like maybe 3 days, and up until the day of, I had like 100 pages left on Tuesday, and I crammed it in, and I finished it before the book club meeting. So pat myself on the back for that. But it was easy to read. Now, the second book, I didn't own it. And these books are all on Kindle Unlimited. And I don't know why. I know why. I wanted to feel the book. I wanted to go in and look at the map. And there's a playlist in this one. And she just writes different not codes, but different letters inside of a book. So I like how she did that. So this is part 2. And I plan to read this one before Christmas. But so it'll be the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, the Cinnabon bookstore, and I like the townspeople. And this is the 3rd one that I already read. I do have another book by her. And this is the 5th one. Got it from TJ Maxx. And this is the Gingerbread Bakery. So this one might get read before Christmas too. And I'm not her biggest fan, but I do enjoy a good, cozy, comfort read. So of all the books that I read so far, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, it was good. I did my review on that one. But the Christmas Tree Farm, they say this is like her worst book. But in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. Like, it read just like the other one. She's like on brand with how she writes. And I just love when they put the details in the books. Like the map. Y'all know I'm a sucker for the map. I love a map in a book. And then she puts a playlist in her books, which you can listen to on Spotify. And this Christmas tree, it has the Christmas Tree Farm. It has the Christmas music. Pumpkin Spice, it had the same, not the same, but the same style of music, but more with like, she's into like Maroon 5 and Taylor Swift and Harry Styles and that type of thing, those type of music. So very like comfort pop. I think it's her brand, you know. Her brand is more of like very general, very like Drake and Taylor Swift and marketable to where you can just like anybody can pick it up and read it. But they do have this one she put in there not a disclaimer, but she said when I first opened the book, I already knew in my mind since I read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe what I was in for. But she wrote, for everyone who wishes Hallmark Christmas movies were steamier, this one might do the trick. So like, yeah. The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. This was a romance. I read the paperback version. I don't know if y'all can see it. I read the paperback version of this book. It was 349 pages. I read it this year I started on like what's that, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday night, because I had a book club meeting on Sunday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 3 days I read this book. And the copyright for this was 2024. Would I read it again? No, I would not read this book again, but I am going to continue to read books by her. So it's not like I wouldn't read. I'll read this author again, but this book in particular, or the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, I'll read a different version of her writing again. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. I would recommend this book for someone who wants something light, something that's just like, you're not really in love with the characters, but you're in love with the setting. Like, that's her strengths. I think that she can capture the good settings of a Christmas tree farm or like a bookstore or a cafe and put you in the mindset of being in those happy places. So, yes, I would recommend this. It's like a fluffy holiday seasonal book. And small town. And so I'm one of those people. Christmas starts for me really the day after Thanksgiving. But in the United States, Thanksgiving is the last Thursday in November. That's when Christmas starts. But Mariah Carey, Christmas starts November 1st. So I'm a lamb. So I can go either way. We can get it started. So I started reading this November 1st and I finished November 3rd. The themes, of course, Christmas. They was looking for Santa Claus. They had a kind of a mystery going on in this book, as well as like a love, romance, nosy town people. It just felt like small town, The emotions and thoughts that not resonated with me, but came to me is like, you have like a grumpy sunshine, and you always have like somebody that is too nice in a story, and then the author, of course, have to do the opposite and give you like the too rude and grumpy. So that was kind of like the trope that was in this book. The author's writing style, I would say that she writes for the masses. Like, she writes something that's easy to sell. Like, you pick this up. I did. I picked this up at TJ Maxx just because it had a little doggy on the front cover, and it has like the foil and the texture and the cover of this book. People like, oh, the cover was the best thing about this book. You already know going in, this book is not going to have any depth into it or any personal impact. So that's why I'm like, just being in the mindset, if you are reading this, it's going to irritate you at some points, but it's not going to be to a point where you don't want to finish reading the story. And then you'll be like, oh, that's nice, or that's cute, or this is whatever. Like, it's like a soft seasonal book, like seasonal. The setting is definitely the best part. It's very comforting. In the end, it is very satisfying. And there are no triggers in this type of book. Like, she's not going to have anybody that is doing anything thrilling or doing anything that's just like too triggering. She does have smut in this book, so don't let this cover fool you, because they get down in this book. And some people are like, oh, it's so cute, I'm going to get it for my teenager. This is, It's not PG-13. For the most part, it is PG-13, but she goes to rated R to a mature audience. So, yes. Her writing style, I would say, is a 4 out of 5. Readability, 5 out of 5. It's very easy to read. Relatability, to the town people, yes. To the main characters, to me, no. Because you got to read that to see. But the town people saved this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Originality, 1 out of 5. Because this is definitely like a Hallmark book. Or some Christmas movie we've seen on TV before. Personal impact, 1 out of 5. Nothing personal for me in this book. The plot, overall, I would say a 4 out of 5. Because I wanted to know what happened. And it had like the perfect like slow burn, but not too slow. It fizzled up. And then it just like, she did have a cliff. And you're like, whoa, now we're here. So I will say in some of the things, somebody in the book club meeting said, we're just having a PG part of this book, just la la la. Then next thing you know, it goes to full on smut. And you're like, whoa, where that came from? So it didn't really flow for some people in the book. And it's like, okay, I see how she just, but you decide as the author, okay, on page so and so, I'm gonna just throw in some smut. And it just doesn't fit the vibe. So I can see how some people will rate the plot a little bit lower. She didn't give you any cliffhangers to lead you up into the next book. But she does mention other people in the town. But it's not heavy as like, oh, we're building this book up, so you have to read the next book. Because some authors will do that and leave you like, okay. This one is more like you feel like you love all the characters and the grandma and the mayor and all these, like the cafe owner, the librarian. And you like all the characters, so you're interested to know their story too. You know, so it's not like the characters are... the side characters are not the main characters in this book, but they have a story as well. And it's not as like you feel like you don't, I don't know how she did it, but you don't feel like you are indebted to read that story next, you know? So this one, it followed, her name was Kyra and Bennett. All right, y'all gonna have to excuse those little doggies that's barking outside. They are loud. Anyways, I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but I hear them. The little doggies that's barking outside. But in this book, The Christmas Tree Farm, Laurie Gilmore, she is, what I liked was the book club friends in the town, the townspeople, the nasty old lady, the nasty old grandma. Like I liked all that. The setting was the best part in this book. So what wasn't my cup of tea, it would happen to be like, this was very like mindless for sure, but it had no depth. If you're looking for depth, the grumpy person was very, very rude. And I'm like, how you just rude for no reason? Like, why? They had their reasons for being rude. And then the opposite, the sunshine was too positive and too nice. So that was really not believable, but she like drilled in on the grumpy sunshine in this book. My favorite quote, I wouldn't say my favorite quote, but my favorite little part, I tabbed it. It was the main female character and the main guy character. They were talking about candles, and her sister had got her a candle. And the candle set had different titles of the candles in the set. And one of them was Morally Gray, Enemies to Lovers, Grumpy / Sunshine, Slow Burn, and I think Cinnamon Roll. And these were all like tropes in books. And if you're not a book reader, you wouldn't know what the heck they were talking about. And the guy wasn't. So he was just like, oh, that sounds good. And he's like, well, they smell good. And she said that you should probably pay more attention when your sister's talking about books. Because his sister's in the book club meeting. Well, in the book club. And it was just cute how they threw that in there. And I'm like, that's her thing. She she's a heavy trope person. Like if you are looking for this or you need that or you want this, she's gonna give you that in this type of book. And she executes it in a way where you're like, okay, I knew it was coming, but it's like comfortable, you know. Overall, I give this book like a 4. Would I recommend it? Yes. The spice level in this book is like a 3.5. So I had to skim some of it because I was just like, Lord, I don't know how I feel about this. But let me read. I don't know if they have any blurbs in this book, but I do like the details that she put into this one. And she has a couple more. So I read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I have the Cinnabon bookstore that I just bought. And then the Christmas Tree Farm is this one. I need to get, probably in the spring, the Strawberry Patch Pancake House. And then I have the Gingerbread Bakery. So the only one I'm missing is the Strawberry Patch one. But this one goes, and I think she has another one. It's going to be the Flower Shop that's coming out in the spring. So the synopsis on the back of this book, magic starts here. So the synopsis on the back of this book, it goes, a small town, spicy, festive romance. Kyra North hates Christmas, which is unfortunate since she just bought a Christmas tree farm in a town that's too cute for its own good. Bennett Ellis is on vacation in Dream Harbor, trying to take a break from both his life and his constant desire to always fix things. But somehow Faye finds Bennett trapped by a blanket of snow at Kyra's farm, and despite her grinchy first impressions, with the glow of the fairy lights twinkling in the trees and the promise of a warming hot chocolate, maybe, just maybe, these two lost souls will have a Christmas they'll remember forever. And that is it. The Christmas Tree Farm. The magic starts here. And yes, he was definitely a fixer. I'm going to say always fixing things. And I just said that because it was in the synopsis. But yeah, go down a rabbit hole with me and read Laurie Gilmore's Christmas Tree Farm. Hey.
So I think we're going to keep that schedule for the new year. So is the 13th going to be the unconditional?